Let me ask you something you've probably never been asked. Are you truly aware? Most people think awareness means being awake or being conscious. But real awareness is much deeper. It's the ability to see yourself, to see your thoughts, your patterns, your reactions, things that trigger you in real time. Not judging them, but just noticing them, being aware of those. Because, see, if you're not aware that you are in the dark, how will you ever seek the light? Right? Awareness is like a flashlight. Change is what you do after you've switched it on. And in this video, I am going to share 7 proven ways to raise your self awareness, rooted in psychology and simple enough to start today. First, practice observer mode. Now, what do I mean when I say observer mode? Every emotion, every thought of yours, it is just a signal. But most people get so caught up in the signal that they forget that they can actually step back and observe, right? So, throughout your day, build the habit of saying, for example, I am noticing how I'm feeling, right? I am aware that I'm thinking, dash. You have to get back to the state of awareness again and again, right? This tiny shift engages your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for self reflection and conscious decision making. From reaction to observation to response, that is real growth. Second, track your autopilot. I assume everyone knows the meaning what an autopilot means, right? Most of us are running on an autopilot. Over 90% of your daily actions are unconscious. That is not a flaw, it's just how the brain works, right? But unconscious does not mean inevitable. For example, pick one area of your life. It could be related to your eating habits, your phone consumption, your relationships, right? And track what you do on default. Write it down, take a piece of paper and pen, and write it down without any shame. For example, you can write down, I open Instagram the second I am feeling anxious. Or maybe I crave or I eat junk when I feel rejected. Now, what's happening here? You cannot interrupt a loop you don't even know exists. So, first of all, the awareness here has to begin once you understand what loop are you stuck in, right? Once you are aware of the loop, you can break that. Third, journaling. Journaling is a very powerful way, right? Forget structured prompts for a moment. Just dump your raw thoughts onto paper. Don't think much about what you're writing. Just keep the flow going, right? Give your subconscious a safe space to speak without any judgments, shame. Start with, for example, what am I feeling that I've not admitted yet? It's a very powerful question. And another powerful question, which I have learned as a coach, is what am I pretending not to know? Right? The moment that truth hits the page, clarity begins to surface. Don't take these 2 questions for granted. These 2 questions are just like magic. Trust me when I say this. Fourth, use micro pauses throughout your day. Your awareness lies in the space between stimulus and response, right? We have to build this space because this is where the awareness lies. Before reacting out of impulse, just pause. Close your eyes, breathe in for 4 seconds and exhale for 6. Touch your chest if it helps you come back into your body. Now, what happens when you do this? This 10-second pause rewires your amygdala. Amygdala is the part of your brain that reacts from fear or habit. And slowly, once you start doing this, you begin to act from intention and not impulse. Fifth, ask why 3 times. Cognitive therapy, it's a kind of an intervention. This teaches us that every belief has layers, right? When you think something like, I don't deserve love, don't stop there and don't believe that belief of yours. Question that, counter question that belief. Ask first, why do I believe that? Right? Second, where did I learn that? Third, what would I believe if I would have grown up in safety? Right? Ask these three questions. Right? Awareness deepens every time you go beyond the first answer. Right? So it's like questioning the belief. And you don't have to just question it once. For example, you question a belief, one answer comes. Then you question that again, and then you question that again because it's layers, right? And you have to work on each and every layer until you touch the root cause. Sixth, audit your environment. Your subconscious is constantly shaped by what surrounds you, even if you're not paying attention, right? So just look around and ask yourself, does this space reflect who I want to become as a person? Clear your room, upgrade your social media, set boundaries with people who drain your energy. Because your external world is a mirror of your internal story. Seventh, spend 5 minutes in silence every day. Make it a ritual for yourself. It's not just a habit, but a ritual that you should cultivate. Silence does not mean emptiness or to be lonely, right? It is the most fertile space for awareness to grow. And I would even advise you to sit without any music, right? It's such an amazing feeling to just be with your own self, right? Without trying to do anything forcefully. Everything would happen very effortlessly. Because when the mind starts to quieten, the truth surfaces itself without any forced effort. And this activates your brain's default mode network. That part of your brain is responsible for deep reflection, memory, and identity formation. And I'm not saying that you have to spend a long amount of time in silence. Just start with 5 minutes. That is it. And it will feel uncomfortable in the very beginning at the first if you're not used to, but that is a good sign. That is your real self beginning to speak. So you don't become powerful by controlling everything around you. You become powerful by becoming aware of what is going on within you. That is where the true power lies. Because once you see the pattern, you are no longer controlled by those patterns. And this is what I help my private coaching clients do. Not just act better, but become deeply conscious, grounded, and free. If you are ready to stop living on autopilot and you want to start living from truth, you can DM me or drop a comment. I take my power back. You may also reach out to me on my given mail ID or my Instagram account. And yep, this is where real change begins. And I would be honored to walk this journey with you. Thank you so much for watching this video.